EdwardJones.com. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Reliable, affordable, responsible power. By Baptist Health, Arkansas's largest and most comprehensive health system. Your local Toyota dealer. Toyota. Let's go places. By Kubota. Find your local Kubota dealer at ArkansasKubotaDealers.com. Hellman's, the official mayonnaise of Razorback Athletics. By Domino's Pizza. Hog fans, order online at Domino's.com to save money on mouth-watering pizza with Domino's Rewards. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. This is winning. Modelo Especial. Brewed for full-time Razorback fans. The Arkansas Department of Health. Quit tobacco. We can help. SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Razorback Athletics. By Experience Fayetteville, the home of the Hogs. There's a reason locals call it Favoritville. Roller Funeral Homes. For 3 generations, the Razorback Nation has trusted the Roller family to serve yours with all our respect. By Whole Hog Cafe. At Whole Hog Cafe, world champion barbecue is what they do. By Our Care, health for all. Greenway Equipment, equipment that works as hard as you do. And by the University of Arkansas Online, offering flexible degree programs. Apply now at online.uark.edu. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Razorback Sports Network.
So Lewis gets the snap, hands it to Smith, coming right side. He gets out across the 16 to the 17-yard line, and that's it. Ball game's over. Memphis celebrate. They've got some students rushing the field. Now they've got more rushing the field, and the Tigers have beaten the Razorbacks. Memphis holds Arkansas to 3 points in the second half, and they come from behind. The Tigers erased an 18-point deficit from earlier in the ball game, and they defeat the Razorbacks by a final of 32-31.
This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Bud Light, the world's favorite light beer. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
I hold it down. We'll see it through.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Well, folks, we are here on Hog Reaction. Welcome to the post-game show presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. I'm going to have my finger close to the dump button tonight because I know there's going to be some emotional takes from our fans, and deservedly so, because we're sitting here, deja vu it feels like, after another one-score loss in the Sam Pittman era, and it just feels so disgusting after you fumble on a go-ahead drive in the fourth quarter for the second straight week in a row. I'm here. I'm Colton Little, going to be plodding along this afternoon here with my co-host, the legend Matt Jones is with me as well. Razorbacks drop a tough loss today to Memphis, 32-31. We're here on the Hog Reaction postgame show taking your calls, your texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. My phone board is already lighting up. We'll get to those in just a second. If you want to get on with us, it's 877-377-6963 to get on with us for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. We'll take your calls. We'll take your texts here in just a little bit. We'll also hear from Ty Richardson live in Memphis later on. He had some car issues, so I hope everything's okay there for our guy Ty. I'm here with Matt. Matt Jones, your initial reaction after another gut-wrenching loss today.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. Man, that's tough. It's one of those deals where we play this game 100 times. We win at 90. They made a couple plays late, again with some turnovers. Didn't play our cleanest game. You know, they're kids. When you're 21 years old, your emotions kind of go up and down, ebbs and flows. You had a heartbreaker last week. You're exhausted. I mean, down there in Oxford, and no excuses. The kids fought hard. We looked like we ran out of gas late.
Definitely didn't have enough in the tank there at the end. You've been relying all season long on your offense to be able to just outscore everybody, and that's what they did in the first half, Matt. It was 28-17. Got away with one touchdown late there if you were Memphis on the push-off. We'll get into that a little bit later on, but you outscored them in the first half, and then after that, Matt, you only scored 3 points in the remaining 30 minutes of game time. So one thing that I think Razorback fans are certainly going to be uncomfortable with today is that for the first time all season, your offense looked to be somewhat mortal and definitely not invincible in every way. Taylon Green did not have the best day through the air, just above 50% completion rate, 18 for 34, with 2 interceptions on the day as well, and only 1 passing touchdown. The defense also left a lot to be desired out there. They said previously, after this loss to Ole Miss last week, Matt, that they were going to get back to the basics. There were too many issues with miscommunication, relaying signals late, trying to change things and adapt to the flow of the game a little bit slower than they would have liked. The slowness today with all the issues seemed to be the actual physical speed of the players, Matt. The defense seemed to be stuck in mud today, and it didn't help. They also didn't tackle to the ground as well. So a lot left to be desired there for your Arkansas Razorback offense and defense. The Razorbacks now sit at 2-2 at the start of the 2025 campaign. And, I mean, I think you said it best when we started. I mean, literally just ouch. There's no... it's going to be hard to explain this one away. It's going to be a tough press conference to listen to. There was some issues in the stadium there at the Liberty Bowl. If you heard anything on the radio, they were having trouble getting some of the sideline reports from Gino, and they also weren't able to get post-game radio interview from Coach Pittman. We couldn't even get the Wi-Fi to work for us, the actual media post-game presser. So we'll hear from that a little bit later and get some Coach Pittman audio to hear what he thinks about the game today, because I'm sure as the Razorbacks were walking in Memphis on Friday night thinking they would come back and get back on track with an easy win and come back home. Now they're sort of limping out of town across the Mississippi River, and I'm sure a lot of folks don't even want them to drive or fly back. They just want to ship them back on the inside of a FedEx truck, Matt. So it's
well, you have you got Mike Washington, a heck of a football player, man. I'm a Mike Washington Jr. football fan. Love that dude. And I know he didn't wake up this morning thinking he was going to fumble. We get that. I feel for him. Why is Braylon Russell not in the game in the fourth quarter? Why is that not your guy that's in there? I mean, that's what he's for. He's for the short yardage, and you're kind of almost thinking Memphis is going to let him score. But I just don't understand why Braylon Russell wasn't your running back on that last drive in the fourth quarter. And I'm a Mike Washington fan. He's going to make a lot of big time plays for us, and I know you don't go into the game wanting to fumble. But I think the coaches got that wrong. I think Braylon Russell should have been in there anyways.
Braylon Russell today finished with only 4 carries for 47 yards. I tweeted out during the game after he broke off a nice 23-yard run and ran over what seemed like the entire Memphis defense.
I mean, that's what he's for. The defense is tired. Put that dude in. You can't exactly tackle him.
Mm-hmm. And I said that he needed about 15 carries a game. That may be on the high side when you have a great running back as well in Mike Washington, who's been able to be dynamic for you through the first 4 games of the season at times and shown real flashes of being a solid SEC back. But, Matt, you said it. When you want to lean on a defense, whenever you feel like maybe the momentum has kind of shifted from your sideline to the other sideline, it's good to have a guy like Braylon Russell that's all of about 6 feet tall and 240 pounds who's got some wiggle to him. He can fit through those tight gaps in the offensive line. And I think one thing that happened down the stretch, Matt, that was really shocking to me is that your run fits on the offensive line up front just kind of disappeared there late in the third and fourth quarter. We do need to give some credit to the Memphis Tigers. That's a very, very good group of 5 team. I believe they've moved now to 4-0 against SEC opponents at home since 2015. Ryan Silverfield has that machine in Memphis moving, and today they were able to make some solid adjustments in the second half, not only on the defensive side of the football, but their offense started to rely a little bit more on that quarterback run, which has also been the Razorback defense's Achilles heel, Matt.
Yeah, you got to tackle better. Got to tackle better. That's for sure. Too much times they got pressure in the A gap. That's man, that's the quickest spot to the quarterback is the A gap. So you got to do a little better there. We had a couple moments, where we weren't run blocking good, but that's Memphis has some kids on scholarship too. And late in the game, man, we ran the same exact play 3 times in a row. Which, hey, man, that's your power play that you want to run. I get it. I'd just like to have seen Braylon Russell in the getting the ball late in the game.
32-31, the final score today for Arkansas. They fall to 2-2. We'll get some stats. We'll get some calls here in just a minute, as well as hear from Ty Richardson, who was live on the ground at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, and we'll get some audio from Coach Pittman as well. It's 4 o'clock right now, so we'll go ahead and do a quick reset. This is Hog Reaction presented by Sawyer's. Everything for outside the house. That includes patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, decorative concrete. You can visit them online at sawyers-sunrooms.com, as well as the Stadium Shop on Razorback. That's your game day headquarters. They have the largest selection of Razorback gear south of the North Pole. Top brands like Nike, Champion, Tommy Bahama, and Comfort Wash. Whether it's for tailgate style, stadium ready gear, or Razorback gift, you'll find it all there. Shop online anytime at shoponrazorback.com. And lastly, by Bud Light, which I'm sure a lot of Razorback fans will be hopefully consuming responsibly tonight after another tough loss. Bud Light, proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Back with Matt Jones and me, Colton Little, here, breaking down Arkansas's 32-31 loss to Memphis. This is Hog Reaction. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyer's, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
And this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth, and we want to introduce the newest member to the Mann family, Raleigh.
Hello, 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 and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Raleigh, you're not really new to the family or the Stadium Shop.
Yeah, I've been around a few years, and I can say it's awesome to be a part of the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store in Arkansas.
You mean the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
And thank goodness we are the largest, because we've been receiving so much new stuff lately, like the new Nike jerseys and sideline apparel, as well as your favorite brands like Champion, Tommy Bahama, and Cutter and Buck, and just way too much stuff to mention here.
Hey, Raleigh, what state's famous for their small drinks?
Raleigh don't.
Matt, I gotta try. What state is famous for the smallest drinks?
Minnesota.
See, I told you.
Yeah, his dad jokes are so legendary.
Anyway, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next time you're in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or shop the Googleator Facegram interweb page.
Dad, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Archery deer season is almost here, and Infinity Sports and Outdoors has all your archery needs and more. Infinity Sports has top compound bows from Hoyt, PSC, Prime, Darton, Bear, and Elite Plus crossbows from 10 Point, Wicked Ridge, Barnett, and Killer Instinct, all tuned and ready to shoot. Expert bow techs with years of experience are on site to get you dialed in and ready to hunt. Infinity Sports and Outdoors, 3700 Highway 71 North in Alma.
Do you need closure?
On your garage, call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Fill her up, please.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green's going to throw all day. Deep corner route. Got a man wide open. Complete. Jones at the 25, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. 62 yards. Rohan Jones all by himself, and Arkansas strikes first.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
You heard the highlight right there from Rohan Jones to start the game. The Razorbacks jumped out to a quick 7-0 lead on the third play from scrimmage. Rohan Jones house one about 60 yards out of the backfield, had his hand down in the dirt. Little H-back, fullback formation there in the pistol. Corner route wide open. I thought from that minute on, Matt, it was going to be a little bit more of a breezy, kind of a cakewalk type of game. I was certainly definitely in a different state of mind as the first quarter went on and the second quarter went on, but Rohan Jones definitely one of the lone bright spots for the Razorback offense today. He finishes with only 2 receptions, but for 102 yards total, had a touchdown on through the air and one on the ground as well, and a little wrinkle that Bobby Petrino showed in the first half with a little tight end jet sweep reverse. We've got some calls and texts lined up here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. This is Hog Reaction after a 32-31 loss to the Memphis Tigers. I'm Colton Little here with number 9. The legend Matt Jones is with me. Derek from Rogers texted in earlier today and said, worst display of football ever, fire everyone. Who effing cares anymore? That's going to be one of the big talking points this whole week, Matt. It's because that's sort of an embarrassing loss, and people are going to go out and want some blood. So we'll see how that shakes out. Hopefully things don't get too chaotic here in only the 5th week of the season. Got some calls lined up here. Calls from Cecil, Danny, and Brent. We'll take some of those and your calls as well on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. My guy Danny in Russellville is up first. Danny, you're on Hog Reaction. How you feeling this afternoon?
Oh, man, I tell you, these tough losses are hard to take.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll just say this. Our defense was just, to me, it looked like a couple times we give up on the play. We're a little bit lazy or lackadaisical on defense. You could watch some of the players, they got blocked a little bit and they quit. When they would have kept running, they might have made the play. And another thing, you would think on the last drive, the number one thing, where you're in field goal range, put 2 hands on the ball. You know, he put one hand down on the ground and had it in one hand, and they just poked it out. I mean, that's what they're taught to do.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3, Taylor's trying to force the ball into Omega Blake too much when he's not open. He got 2 interceptions today. 3 of his interceptions are trying to force the ball to Omega Blake. And he's not always going to be open because they know he's the favorite target. And anyway, guys, I just wanted to ask if you thought we were a little bit lazy today. it appeared that way to me. But anyway, go Hogs.
Danny, thank you for your call all the way from Russellville. We appreciate that. Matt, I can say that I thought there was a little bit of loafing going around in the first half on defense as well. Some things that I didn't like to see from some guys that end up wearing a C on their chest as well. I thought that there were a couple times that the Razorbacks let them get away. And, they talked about last week at Ole Miss, they have to simplify things. And they simplified their communication maybe, but they did not get back to the basics like Danny was talking about. I didn't see a lot of effort today wrapping up and tackling. Seemed like they were, like I said earlier, some feet in the mud a little bit.
I don't want to criticize their effort because I think they did. I just think they ran out of gas. I didn't see any not. Here's what it is though. This team's not a physical defensive team. So you just got to take out what you're thinking in your mind, being a physical, being a brash, being tough, kind of having that killer mindset. This team we're soft. That's more what it is. It's not that they're lacking effort. It's just a lack of talent. We're not a physical defense. Yeah. There's how many of those guys? We got a couple guys that start that are pretty physical, but once you kind of get going, they're just like, you know what? I think I'll just kind of tackle. But nobody's going in there trying to hit somebody. And maybe that's because the rules are different. I don't know, but we're just we're not very physical on the defensive side of the ball.
A little bit soft, a little bit slow. Two things that if you have that on defense, you're not going to win a lot of football games. You also won't win a lot of football games when you lose the turnover battle either. And to Danny's point, Talon was forcing it a little bit in there. I tell you who we don't force. We don't force Cecil to say anything positive, but Cecil always finds the light in everything. Cecil was called this in Fort Smith. Cecil, how's it going this afternoon, man?
Man, I actually canceled a job in Charleston to watch the game today, man, and I'm disappointed. We do have a good football team, but just like Matt said, our physicality on defense sucks. When you are a Division I SEC team and you looking like Northside Grizzlies tackling, that's sad, man. I mean, you look at we had chances to win the game. We just couldn't stop nobody. And then when you wrap up, or when you even grasp the player and the player walks you down 8 yards to get a first down.
Yeah.
I saw that twice today. I'm like, we got to make some changes on defense. Bottom line, it's got to be somebody on the team that can tackle. I mean, I don't know. Did we spend all our money on offense or what? We have a good team. Washington is a damn good running back. Excuse my French. He just didn't put both his hands on the ground. When before that play even happened, when we got the first down, the first time before Washington fumbled, I said, all we have to do right now is just take care of the football. We're going to win the game. That's all I said. And then the next play, bam. And then I'm like, I'm hoping his knee was down. Whew. Man, I hope his knee was down. And next thing you know, they slowed it down. In real time, it looked like he was down. They slowed it down, and the ball popped out. And the thing about that is he had the ball tucked with his right hand, but his left hand, he was trying to cushion himself from the fall. Instead of putting his left hand on the ball, holding it, he was trying to go down easy, and the ball popped out. So you got to put both hands on the ball. And I can imagine how Coach Pittman feel right now. And I like Coach Pittman. He's a good coach, and I hope everybody don't take it out on him. We definitely want to win football games because we only play 10 or 12 games a season. We want to go to a bowl. We want to win games. We're so close in winning. This was last year. I mean, we did it last week, and we did it this week, and we did it last year. I mean, and I already have my Notre Dame tickets. I bought them a couple of weeks ago or so. I mean, it's been a while ago. I feel like selling my tickets, man, because when I go to a Razorback game, I want to feel the rush. And I ain't getting no rush right now. I just hate we lost, man, and I'm hoping we can do better. And Talon, I like Talon. He I mean, they talking about him on ESPN and everything, but you cannot freaking force the football. You cannot do that. Matt, you was a quarterback,
Thank you for the call, Cecil. Appreciate that. Lots of good points right there from our guy in Fort Smith. Cecil, appreciate it. And obviously, like he said, he's very disappointed. There were a lot of things that you don't like about today. Most importantly, that is the same kind of a mirror image of what happened last week. You felt like you were in a position to win the game. You felt like when it mattered, your defense did step up and make stops. And then this time it was the inverse. Your offense was stuck in mud all of the entire second half. And once again, they go down and fumble on a potential game-winning drive late in the fourth quarter. We got some more calls. Brent is in Searcy. He's actually driving back to Searcy right now on I-40. He was at the game this afternoon. Brent, how's it going, my man? What do you think about this afternoon? How do you feeling? Brent, you still there? I'll see if I can get him on a different time. Well, Matt, lots of frustration, lots of emotion from the fan base. We're getting lots of text messages in as well. Roger and Danville, same old BS season, same old BS AD, same old BS board of directors, same old BS coaching, BS outcomes. Lots of BSs in here. And he's done with it. There's lots of frustration. Matt, there are some positives that you can take from today, but at this point, I don't think a lot of us expected to be 2-2 going into this Notre Dame game, and I think it would be a very Arkansas football type thing to end up beating Notre Dame, to be honest with you, next week. That would kind of make a lot of sense. But where do you think the Razorbacks can go from this point in the season? I mean, there's lots of people that are obviously wanting blood, calling for the head of at least, if not an administrator, definitely a coach, and those are hard things for a lot of sensible people to swallow. But Matt, what do you think the Razorbacks can get done for the rest of the year?
Ooh, if we're looking at a positive, what about our field goal kicker making his field goal, making all 4 of his extra points? I thought Cam Shanks on punt returns, I thought he was close to breaking one. He didn't break one, but I thought he was close. On the offensive side, I'd like to see Braylon Russell with 4, 5, 6 more carries. I thought, Taylor Green reads that read option just as well as any quarterback does. He makes a lot of good plays. It's kind of like a point guard. You want to have a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, sometimes even a 3-to-1 for the great ones. So same thing for him. You kind of want to cut down on some of the turnovers, but man, he makes a lot of big plays when he's going. The offense is fun. They get found out a little bit. That's for sure. And you got to tip your hat to Memphis. They looked like they were in better shape. I kind of thought it was similar to the BYU game, and I don't know if that Ole Miss game the week before took a lot out of them, but we just looked gassed in the fourth quarter. We didn't look like they looked like they had they had more energy in the fourth quarter than us.
Which is something you never want to see. You definitely want the effort to stay consistent all throughout the game. A couple more calls here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. You can get in there with us as well. You can call us. You can text us 877-377-6963. Otis from Paragould is called. Otis, you're on Hog Reaction with Colton Little and Matt Jones. Another tough loss. What's running through your mind this afternoon?
Well, I'll tell you what. I love Sam Pittman, but when is enough? I mean, you look down the stat line right here, and you got 500 total yards against Memphis, which isn't bad, but they also have 489 yards.
Yeah.
And then you look at the rushing yards, we only have 175. Like, we only rushed the ball 32 times. Like, when is enough? Like, I really believe that we have the better running back core, but I just didn't see that in the second half. Like, I don't. And then on top of that, you have 7 penalties, and then 3 turnovers. Like, I just don't understand.
Otis, appreciate the call all the way from Paragould. Thank you for that here on Hog Reaction. And I can say this to you, Otis. I don't know, Matt, if it seems to me like a lot of people, obviously, they want things to change and they want something to, break through so this Razorback team doesn't have to go through all these heartbreaking and all these gut-wrenching losses again, and it seems in the exact same way, all these terrible, awful scenarios. There have been already lots of talking heads. I've seen Josh Pate State, lots of people, Barrett Salee as well, talking about how it just seems like this Razorback football program is cursed. I don't believe in any of that, but Otis made a good point right there about the penalties. 7 penalties for 55 yards in the game, and while the yardage isn't necessarily atrocious, the number of penalties were, and the times in which they occurred. I thought that getting an illegal formation call out of a timeout was just atrocious. You can't do that. Another illegal formation penalty whenever Bale pinned him deep at the 1-yard line early. That didn't really come back to bite you, but discipline also goes back to holding on to the football, wrapping up and making all these tackles. And to me, I don't see a lot of discipline in this football team right now.
Well, again, I don't think it's lack of effort as much as it's lack of talent. The defense just is. There's not a lot of talent. It's not real. Yeah, it's an SEC defense because they have an SEC jersey on. I get that, but gonna have to spend a little money on some defensive guys. I just don't see it. There's a couple dudes that can go. That's for sure. But you got to have 11. You got to have 15. You got to have subs that you can bring in and keep fresh. We're just a little soft out there. They're really not a physical defense. I don't know what you want. I don't think it's lack of effort. I think it's lack of talent. That would be the way to do it.
All right, Mike is called from right up the road where I grew up in Gravette. Mike, how you feeling this afternoon? Razorbacks drop another one to Memphis.
You know, the thing about it is we just lost to Memphis. You know, it's not an SEC team that we lost to last week with, Ole Miss. We lost to Memphis. This is not where we should be after Pittman's 5th year. You know, I think in my opinion, I have backed Pittman for years, for the last 4 years anyway, 4 or 5 years, and but now we're not getting it done. And I think we're going to lose the fan base if we do not make a change. You know, it may not be the best choice, but Bobby needs to take control, and because Sam can't win. I don't know what else to say, guys. Our defense is the worst I've seen for years. It's horrible. Anyway.
Mike, appreciate the call. Everybody, I know this was going to be a common theme. People were going to be calling for this. I've already seen tweets about it, already seen comments about it, text messages. Well, I'm sure we'll take some more phone calls about how they just need to go ahead and make Bobby Petrino the interim for the whole season. They're 2-2. It's week 4. Obviously, the schedule doesn't get any easier, but to challenge you on that, Bobby Petrino, everybody's favorite coach on that coaching staff that everybody harkens back to all those great times at the beginning of a couple decades ago. He only put up 3 points in the second half today, and the offense got absolutely out-schemed by an inferior opponent, in my opinion. So everybody is looking to point the finger who should be next. Just you have a head coach on the staff. Look, I understand all those things, and to Mike's point as well, Coach Pittman obviously doesn't have the same coaching acumen as a lot of the guys that he's across the sideline from. He doesn't have the same amount of experience, but to me, Matt, there is something to be stated about always being in these close games and always having the talent to at least be close enough, but there's also something to be said about the fact that it seems like discipline is what ends up biting them in the rear in the end. But Matt, what do you think about that? I mean, it seems like to me that making a coaching change, doing anything drastic right now would not make anything any better for the entire season.
Yeah, they're not going to make any changes right now. You got a big one coming up against Notre Dame. Get in the film room, attention to detail. I think that's what you're talking a little bit about. You don't effort penalties you can live with. An illegal formation after a timeout late in the game penalty. Those are the ones that you're like, come on, guys, what are we doing?
I'm never gonna get upset for an offensive lineman for holding. You can call that on every play almost. It seems like I'm never gonna get upset about maybe a potential face mask penalty. Sometimes your hands just get caught in that direction. But like you said, some of those mental errors, some of those mental mistakes have been this team's Achilles heel for a little while, and it seems to be a very common theme here in the Sam Pittman area. I know lots of fans are frustrated, but it is a long season, and there are lots of opportunities for you to get back on track. We'll get back on track here in just a minute. This is Hog Reaction with Colton Little and Matt Jones breaking down a 32-31 loss to Memphis. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green's going to throw all day. Deep corner route, got a man wide open, complete. Jones at the 25, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas, 62 yards. Rohan Jones all by himself, and Arkansas strikes first.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
This is Hog Reaction, and this is Colton Little here with number 9, Matt Jones, our forever quarterback. Arkansas drops another one. They fall to 2-2 on the season. Drop one to Memphis, a team that tried to buy their way into the Big 12 last season. Thank you for the reminder, Zach Garnes. Tried to buy their way into the Big 12 last season and got rejected. there is no question about it. A loss to a Group of 5 school is definitely what a lot of fans in this state would be considered below the station for an Arkansas Razorback football team. But that is what happened today. The good thing is the season doesn't end today. And the good thing is you don't have to make any rash decisions or anything like that, because if you do, when a coach gets fired, there are 30 days in which a player can transfer. So there are a lot of things and a lot of ways that they have to navigate this situation, and I think it's going to end up being that they're just going to let the season probably play out. We'll take some calls here on Hog Reaction. You can call us as well, 877-377-6963. Some text messages I want to read. Chip from Rogers. Sorry, Chip. He said, stop allowing, excusing, accepting, and enabling further mediocrity. And I think that after hearing some of the comments earlier this week from Hunter Yurachek, I think that some of the things that he said about not being set up to win a championship right now obviously have been vindicated. Those are obviously very true now that we see that. But it just kind of stings about the fact that it doesn't seem like the support financially from for your football team, it doesn't seem like a lot of that was spent on the defense. Matt, you've said it already. You don't think it's an effort issue, and most of the time it's not. It just seems like there are a lot more talented guys on offense in the last 2 weeks than there have been for the Razorback defense. So it's going to be definitely a long season if the defense can't, shore things up, and if the offense decides they don't want to show up for the second half of games anymore. The win and loss column is going to be lopsided in favor of the losses. But we're here on Hog Reaction. Colton Little and Matt Jones taking your calls and texts. We've got a few callers on hold right here. Joe in Avoca has given us a ring. Joe, tough one, man.
Colton.
How you doing?
Hey, Mr. Matt. I'm doing great. I found the best thing to soothe a loss is a little purple sunset, little 26%. Boy, that just eases it down.
That'll definitely make it easier, no question.
And one thing, there is one silver lining you can take away from this game. They only lost by 1 point. So next week they can't lose. They'll either, I predict a tie, it'll go over into overtime, and they'll lose. But this team reminds me of the old Mission Impossible series when the agent would get his mission at the first of the show, and it'd say this tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Well, this team self-destructs in the last drive of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And as far as Pittman goes and the whole coaching staff, he needs to go down to Lake Hamilton and spend time on his $1 million lot or whatever houseboat and never come back. So that's just my opinion. And I don't see anything positive about this team at all. So thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoy the rest of your purple sunset and it doesn't turn into too dark and bleak and black of a night. Appreciate that phone call. We also got Brent on the line, tried to call us earlier. Brent's driving back on I-40. Brent, that's a tough one to stomach, and it's even worse when you have to make that drive back from Memphis after a loss. How you feeling today?
I don't know, Colton. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. I mean, it's just the Razorback way these days. For the past years, it's just so Razorback the way we lost today, and the way we lost last week. It's so Razorback, and I don't know how we can get out of it. I don't know. The main problem, Colton and Matt, are you there, Matt?
Yo.
Matt, this team, these players do not know how to win. They don't know how to finish. It's like they're waiting for something to happen.
They're a little timid. That's you can't using the word timid to describe a defense isn't ever a good thing. But we just don't have any guys that fly around. They're not enforcing their will. They're not playing. We don't have enough guys. Don't let me say everybody's not, but they're not a violent defense. We're just you just try to kind of catch them and then try to go, okay, but nobody's out there trying to like make tackles.
Hey, and you know what I can say about this game from being there? Memphis never drove it on us just straight down the field. All their points We're on big.
Offense didn't do
we're
much
on
in the
chunk
second half
plays.
either, though. If offense could have just a little something,
We didn't get much. We didn't get much out of our offense the second half. I'm going to say that. For our offense looked mortal today. I don't know what the problem was, but we looked mortal, and I can honestly say we're exactly where I thought we'd be.
I really thought before the game, Brent, we was talking with Phil, and I thought Braylon Russell and Mike Washington would both have 15-plus carries, like 15-plus touches. Like, we're a bigger team. Make them tackle those guys. I think Braylon Russell might have touched the ball 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
No excuse for that. No excuse for that.
None. But I guess we got to strap it up and go next Saturday. So
you sure do.
We got to get through it some way.
You
Talk
sure
to
do.
you guys later. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Brent. Get back safe, back home to Cersei. Look forward to hearing from you throughout the rest of the week. Mike is in Fayetteville. He's been patiently waiting for about 15 minutes. Mike, you're at the home base of the Razorbacks. You're going to meet him as an angry mob when they get back?
10 minutes away from the stadium. Mm-hmm. I'm so grateful I didn't go to Memphis today. So grateful. But Colton and Matt, good to hear y'all, and thanks for taking my call. It's not down on the field. Yeah, we can look at 1 or 2 plays every single game. For 12 games, we can look at, these little plays. It has to be much more systemic than that because, guys, this has been going on, for pretty much the 6 years under Pittman and then definitely under Morris. But today's defense really reminded me of Chad Morris's defenses. That's coaching. There's some, and Matt, as much as I love you, I think it's not talent. I think if you look at our NIL, I guarantee you we outspend Memphis on our NIL.
Yeah.
And I'm a season ticket holder. And I contribute to the Razorback Foundation. But I'll be honest with you, I don't give to NIL. I'm not going to give to NIL under Pittman. I don't believe it. It's like taking a positions coach and giving him the biggest opportunity of a lifetime to not only be a head coach of a Power 4 program, but we're going to put you in the SEC. And now we got a fan base that wants you to beat those top-level teams. When they grade offensive linemen out. They don't win football games. You can't fault Pittman. Pittman actually put the dumpster fire out, but we're still in the dumpster. And then if you go above Pittman to Juracek, worst move we ever made was give him the extension. Who in their right mind above us or better equal to us is going to hire Pittman away? So we create our own problems on the hill before we ever get onto the football field, and then we expect them to do better than what they did today. Sure, but it's systemic because you've seen this happen time and time again. I'm not as butthurt today as I was under the Chad Morris years because I see kind of what Juracek's running over there. He's running a Director's Cup standings. He's running a financial program. We're top 20 in financials of all D1 programs. In Learfield, across the board, we're top 20. But we're talking about football today, and we can't wait to get to basketball. So Juracek has built him a hell of a resume. Pardon my language. But it's not translating to football because we're not committed there. We're a small, really a big fish in a small pond here in Arkansas because we're the only game in town. Mm-hmm. But when we're trying to compete against the LSUs and the A&Ms and the Notre Dames, and we can't even get by Memphis, then that tells you it's not just the play on the field, but it's what's going up in the home office. It reminds me a lot of the Cowboys. I mean, Arkansas and the Cowboys they're a corporate franchise, and they're about entertaining the people that come into Razorback Stadium in the tailgate tents and the luxury suites, and they're about the outsiders coming in, and they're about making it all look good. But the true Arkansas fan, I grew up in East Arkansas, I've been a Razorback fan from 1960 to today. It's just we're kind of pushed out. Mm-hmm. And so the deep red, the really being Razorback is not there. And it's really just about, okay, today what I saw was those players were just content wearing an SC patch on their jersey, but no grit, no fight, no real tenacity to stop anybody. So thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. A lot of good points right there from Mike in Fayetteville, who's, like he said, a season ticket holder, a guy that spent a lot of money supporting the Razorbacks, and he's not going to get to NIL, and I don't expect a lot of fans to. There's a lot of results that have to happen on the field, and whenever you have a lot more talented roster than I think that Memphis has, because I think that that's right. There's no way that you don't spend more money than Memphis does in NIL. There definitely has to be something from a coaching standpoint, Matt, that doesn't work out, that has caused some of this dysfunction to work out. And we're not in that locker room. We really don't know. We're not in the huddle with these guys. But Matt, you've been there. You've been in the huddle. You've been in the locker room. Whenever things get a little bit dicey and you feel like maybe, hey, we're in a position to where this is a team that we know that we're better than, but they've kind of got us on the ropes right now. Matt, as a quarterback, as a leader, as a teammate, how do you respond in that situation?
Yeah, 3 points in the second half's not good enough. I don't know that, Memphis had a couple nice pieces. Like that running back that they had, I want to say it was number 13. I like that dude, man. We need to get him in the transfer portal. I saw a couple defensive linemen that I wouldn't mind having as well. Talking about portal gets. I mean, Memphis has a couple nice pieces that They were doing their thing. I mean, it's you win and lose as a team. These are what you know. It's the ultimate team game. It's not just on one player. That's for sure. It's not just on one coach. There's a whole lot to go on. You win and lose as a team, and today it just wasn't good enough.
All right, we got some more calls lined up right here. We'll rip through those in just a minute. This is Hog Reaction brought to you by Sawyer's Sunrooms, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and Bud Light, the official sponsor of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Please drink responsibly. Be back in just a minute here on Hog Reaction. We'll get some audio from Coach Pittman. We'll hear some more calls, hear from our guy Ty Richardson, and try and break this down a little bit more and try and rationalize another heartbreaking one-score loss in the fourth quarter. Hog Reaction back in just a second. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyer's, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started. Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget. Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level. And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story. Come see us in Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. This is a game changer for the Van Alma community. Sharp Equipment is now open at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren. No matter what sector of heavy equipment you're in, you'll leave Sharp Equipment with new ideas, new relationships, and new opportunities to grow your business. Sharp Equipment is locally owned and operated, so whether you're needing to stock up on filters, order replacements, or renting equipment for the next big job, this is the perfect place to shop locally. Stop in at Sharp Equipment, now located at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren, or give them a call at 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment can help you move more than just the world. They help you move forward.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green's going to throw all day. Deep corner route. Got a man wide open. Complete. Jones at the 25, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. 62 yards. Rohan Jones all by himself, and Arkansas strikes first.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
Yard line. Lewis brings a man in motion. They fake a handoff. Lewis is going to throw. He's looking deep downfield. Contact down around the 10, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Julian Neal. Neal out across the 15. Returns it to the 20 out near the 25-yard line. Julian Neal just out-wrestled the receiver for the football, and Arkansas gets the turnover.
I breathed a sigh of relief at that moment. I thought our defense came back up quickly, had a great job defending the pass right there, something they've been weak at all season long. Julian Neal, very aggressive there, coming away with that interception. One of the two turnovers the Arkansas Razorbacks forced today, one of them was on that boneheaded double pass play call that Memphis tried to run that didn't really work out for them. Miguel Mitchell had that other interception, but the Arkansas Razorbacks also turned the ball over themselves today, and it did not work out well.
You know, if you're a coach up there, and I know what Coach Nutt would have done, the very first time Memphis scored points and they tried to do an onside kickoff on you, that should have been a wake-up call.
Yeah.
He would have called the whole team up and said, hey, guys, do you understand what's going on? This is their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is the toughest game on their schedule. Do you not see they're going to throw all the bells and whistles? Let's focus up. And like anything, Colton, whenever you're playing a game, And if you can get a lead, man, it kind of just crushes their spirit, kind of steals their soul. You let Memphis hang around. And then what that does is it breeds a little bit of confidence, and then you're kind of your margin of error really shrinks down, and we messed up again. So it's not on the players' effort, because I think the effort's there. It's just a little more on the talent side.
You said it, Matt, and I think that you mentioned Cam Settles right there, who had that nice onside kick recovery.
Went 78 yards, scored a touchdown. The Tiger drive stalled, but a 38-yard field goal has gotten them on the board. They tried an onside kick, and Arkansas was right there to cover it.
They did double passes. They were stunning on defense. They were taking chances. This game meant more to Memphis than it meant to us.
And if you're Arkansas, you have to know that coming in. You have to understand what's at stake for Memphis. They showed the little graphic of the Peabody Ducks and how they were kind of making them out to be the certain group of 5 playoff teams that were going to try and squeak in and earn that spot there in the college football playoff. And Memphis now definitely is in the driver's seat for a lot of the group of 5 programs. That's a really good win over an SEC program at home. And the turnover stat obviously was one that stood out to me today, Matt, but then another one that I thought was just abysmal. 3rd down conversions for your offense totally on the day. Coming into today, Matt, you were almost 70% on the whole season, and then today you went 3 for 11. That won't get the job done.
That's tough. You would have liked to seen us play a cleaner game. I'm telling you, though, it's Coach Nutt. One of the things that he would do and is very smart is don't let the week before beat you twice. And I think that's what happened. I think we were emotionally drained. I think you're kind of overlooking Memphis to Notre Dame a little bit. And it starts at the top. I mean, it's a collective effort. And when kids are emotional like that, are they all in? Are they kind of looking ahead at Notre Dame? Are you kind of thinking the one you let slip away at Ole Miss, and then all of a sudden Memphis hits you in the mouth because you let them hang around a little bit? I think that's human nature.
You definitely can't let losses compound week after week because of the same things, and you definitely need to take things from the weeks that you've learned previously. And there were things I think the offense did that they learned from last week to get better, and then I think inversely the defense also stepped their game up at times. They were able to force some 3-and-outs at good moments for the Razorback offense. They were able to keep them themselves off the field for a long extended time. But when all is said and done, Memphis also had the ball for 32 minutes of this game, and they rushed for close to 300 yards on you. A lot of that which came in the second half. So there are some things that obviously no doubt need to be cleaned up. Speaking of cleaned up, I need to clean up my performance as a host because Mike called us earlier from Gravette, and he asked us a question, Matt, and I don't think I even answered it. So Mike, hit us back again, man. You calling from Gravette. What was that question you asked earlier?
Well, the thing about it is, first of all, I like to say, Matt, you and I had classes back in the day with Janet Forbes.
Okay, right on.
You remember Janet?
Yeah.
At the Hyper Building?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've been a Hog fan forever. I've between you and everybody else. But it doesn't matter. Thing about it is, what are we going to do going forward?
That's right.
In my opinion, I think Pittman cannot do it. He has made it. With Chad and all that crap, he has done what he was hired to do. Today we lost to Memphis, man. That's not Ole Miss. We lost to them, fair enough. We got Notre Dame coming in. Mm-hmm. What do we do?
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate the call. Mike, I'll tell you what you do. You go out there and you try your best to forget what's happened the past 2 weeks. I think that there are a lot of things that you can look at and be excited about with this football team still, Matt. There are still some plays that happen throughout the duration of the game that I'm convinced that only your quarterback can make. He is a very, very talented guy. He has a lot of these athletic tools and traits and a skill set that a lot of people in the NFL are starting to take notice of as well. So you have a really good, efficient offensive attack, and you've done so the last couple of weeks. They put up 1,000 yards total offense in the last 2 weeks, Matt, and they're still 0-2. So it is sort of there is a big dissonance between the offense and the defense right now. But the only thing that you really can do is you watch this tape and figure out exactly what you did wrong, and then you stop talking about all the ways in which you've messed up and start discussing all the ways in which you know you have to improve.
Well, you got to go get some trained assassins on the defensive
Amen.
side. You got to get some. I mean, I know there. It's not like you can go find a lot of Tony Buas out there or a lot of Ken Hamlins. You got to go get somebody that likes contact. I mean, I saw defensive players out there shying away from contact.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking. They don't want it. That's the thing. They're not like, you got to go get some guys that want to be physical, want to impose their will. And now I'm not saying the whole defense, because that's not. There are a couple dudes out there that are legit, that are doing their thing. But it takes all 11 of you, man. It takes all 11 guys, and we just don't have enough dudes on defense that like contact. I mean, we're when you use the word timid to describe a defensive player, that's not very good.
You definitely don't want to be timid on defense, and on offense, you certainly can't be stagnant, especially in the second half. All right, we're going to wrap it up real quick right here for this hour. We'll come back in just a minute. We'll hear from Ty Richardson here. This is Hog Reaction. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyer's, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey anglers, do you have what it takes to win the Beaver Big Bass Tournament? It happens Sunday, September 21st on Beaver Lake. First place payout of $20,000 based on 200 entries. Launch and fish from anywhere on the lake. But hourly and overall weigh-ins are all at Prairie Creek Public Tournament site. Lines hit the water at 6:30 a.m. and we start weighing fish at 7 a.m. Drop-off entries at Southtown Sporting Goods in Fayetteville or either hook, line, and sink locations in Rogers or Bentonville by 4 p.m. Saturday. Visit Facebook.com/THE, the number 3 DROSCOE for details. See you on the water.
Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range. Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not...
Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks. This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Back to school means back on your feet, and True Grit Running Company has you covered. Whether you're a student, teacher, nurse, or retail warrior, our footwear keeps you moving in comfort and style. Shop top brands and discover new ones. Plus the best socks, insoles, and gear that'll keep you going strong all year long. This season, step into success at True Grit Running Company, where comfort meets grit. Located on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Run in today before the bell rings. True Grit Running Company, fueled by passion, built for you.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Oh, did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your shelter insurance agent, Randy Hughes in Fort Smith.
When electrical needs pop up, don't get left in the dark. Call the local team that's trusted on and off the field. Harrison Electric. That's who homeowners and local businesses choose. Harrison Electric. Honest, dependable, and they leave no mess behind. From quick fixes to major upgrades, Harrison Electric is your go-to for all your electrical projects. Don't sit on the sideline with electrical problems. Get back in the game with the pros you can count on. Harrison Electric. Honest, quick, trusted. 652-3077.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green's going to throw all day. Deep corner route. Got a man wide open. Complete. Jones at the 25, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. 62 yards. Rohan Jones all by himself, and Arkansas strikes first.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
They're going to operate with a single setback. Green's under center. Braylon Russell's the tailback. They toss it left side. Russell's got some room across the 30. First down at the 35, across the 40, and they'll upend him out across the 45 at the 46-yard line. How about 23 yards, nearly 24 on first down?
The Benton native, Braylon Russell, had a day on the ground. He averaged 11 yards a carry, which is a great stat to have going into the bulk of your SEC slate. The problem is, Matt, he only had 4 carries and 5 touches all game.
Yep, five
five touches. He had one little reception out of the backfield, and guess what? It was a first down as well for 12 yards. They have got to get the ball to number 0. He's a wrecking ball out there, and there's the type of player that, in my opinion, keeps Uncle Mo on your sideline rooting for you because of his ability to impose his will on smaller linebackers and smaller defensive backs, trying to come up and do the same thing that the Razorbacks suffered with today, which is arm tackling, not wrapping up and finishing. So, Braylon, go ahead, Matt.
And here's what I was thinking. And look, Mike Washington's a heck of a player. I love Mike Washington. He's going to make a lot of big plays for us. But here's what my brain was thinking. As the game's going on, Colton, I'm thinking, oh, you know what they're going to do in the fourth quarter? Mm-hmm. They're going to give him a dose of Braylon Russell.
Ground and pound.
They're saving him. He's going to get 9 touches in the fourth quarter because, like what are we doing? No, that's not what they did.
It was definitely not the best performance from your offense in the second half. You were held to just 3 points, and there were times in which Taylon Green looked much more mortal than he has all season. And we're talking about Braylon Russell. We got a text here from just a minute ago from Greg. He's been a foundation donor and season ticket holder for years, and he only renewed this year because he wanted to see Notre Dame in Fayetteville, and he's not going to be renewing his football tickets next year and won't be donating going forward, which is tough to hear, tough to think he won't get to see Braylon Russell truck a bunch of dudes in those shiny gold helmets. But
Braylon Russell won't be at Arkansas next year.
That's exactly what. There was a text that I just missed, and I'm trying to find it again to see who sent it in. But it's kind of where you are right now, Matt. If things start to snowball, if you start to lose the locker room, everything starts to sort of go south, all of your best players are going to jump ship because there are places that can afford them that will properly utilize their talent, and you're going to have to do a lot of plug-and-play fitting next year up front on your offensive line. That's a very veteran group, senior-laden, so there's going to be a lot of turnover and a lot of change next year. You're going to have to replace a lot of your skill positions and a lot of guys up front on both the offense and the defense, so you have to try your best to keep something together here. You don't want your best players jumping ship to Ole Miss. You don't want these guys to be able to get out the door score without having something
Shoot,
to look
I would have
forward
been
to.
I would have been shaking the hand of a couple of those Memphis
Absolutely.
defensive linemen and saying, "Hey, man, we got a spot over for you in Fayetteville next year." If they got some guys on that defensive line that have a little eligibility left, man, and then number 13, that running back for Memphis, that was hurt, I guess week 1, and he's kind of their. That dude can go.
Yes, he was good.
You can tell whenever he gets right that he would be another guy I'd be looking at.
Memphis had 2 running backs today, or 2 players today rush for over 100 yards. Their running back, Smith, had 149 on the ground and a touchdown. And then the quarterback, Brendan Lewis, who through the first half, Matt, looked like he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn throwing the football. But in the second half, it was his legs that sort of just mowed the Arkansas defense down, and they didn't have anything to answer for it. That's another thing. It seems like rushing quarterbacks, dual threat guys that are able to do some of the similar things that Taylor Green can do when the play breaks down, that is a real weakness for this Arkansas defense. Matt, is that something that people should be concerned about, or is that just one of the ways that the game of football works out is, you just sometimes have a quarterback that's the better athlete than everybody else?
Yeah, a running quarterback's tough. When you're a little bit gassed at the end of the game and you're not that physical anyways, I mean, it's hard to stop somebody. It really is. And I was surprised as much as anything. And to get back to your point about Taylor Green, and dude, Taylor he's really good. He's phenomenal, man. That dude, there's not a lot he can't do on the football field. I thought he was the best player on the field again. But I go back to football's the ultimate team game. There's just not enough players out there to make enough plays, and then you start pressing, then you start getting ahead of yourself. But as far as reading the option and making some reads, I thought he played. Did he leave some out there? Yeah. We left a little bit out there. But man, that's just it's a hard one to swallow.
Mike from Gravity, who called us in earlier, wanted to apologize for drinking before he called. Mike, that's what this show is for, and I think everyone's going to need a drink after we put this next caller on. Brian has given us a ring from Ozark. Brian, go ahead and gloat. Get it done quickly. Say your usual spiel. Go ahead.
I'm not gloating, but here's the deal. Everybody's surprised that Arkansas lost to Memphis. Arkansas was out-coached in all phases of that game. They matched, even the quarterback from Memphis, matched stride for stride with Taylor for the most part. They made the adjustments at halftime, and they shut Arkansas down in all aspects of that game. So, I mean, whether everybody's upset, Memphis deserved to win that game. And here's the real deal. The defense is weak. I don't know who they're going to beat now because Notre Dame is better than Ole Miss and Memphis. I mean, I think where Arkansas needs to go is a brand new coaching staff. I've been saying it 3 years. Pittman and Petrino should be out.
Brian, appreciate the call. And, it's heartbreaking to suffer through a difficult loss, but it's even heartbreaking when the worst person makes a good point, Matt. That's not that you should do the whole clean house thing and sweep everything out. I have a hard time, wanting to fire coaches and wanting to get things done, especially in the middle of the season. If you're at a turning point in the season when things have wrapped up and you want to do all that housekeeping stuff, go ahead. You might be able to get some buyback from the fan base, but I mean, to say that Arkansas was out-coached by Memphis today, Matt, that is not a stretch. In the second half, Memphis had schemed you up. They were able to, take advantage of all the weaknesses they had seen in the first half from the Razorback defense, and they were able to sort of put the Razorback offense in a box and take away the things that were successful for them. So he also has a point that Notre Dame's going to come in, and I think that with some of the running backs and the offensive linemen they have, I mean, Memphis rushed for 290 yards today, Matt. I mean, who's to say Notre Dame and all those golden helmets shining in the sun won't pace for 400 at the start of next week? So it's going to be a difficult slog the rest of the season to figure out how this team responds, because you've now been in 2 situations to where you can have the team buy in, you can have the fan base buy in, you can have all this talk about one-score games and all these things that have been negative and nipping at your heels for years. You could have put those away twice now, and they're still rearing their ugly head.
I love the Arkansas Razorback. There's not 4 wins out there. Show me where the other 4 wins are.
It doesn't get any easier.
That's what I mean. If that's how it's going to be, maybe you win one of these home games of the A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State. Maybe you can go 1-2. But who are you going to go? What defense? And then what? So the last 2 second halves, this offense has put up how many points? 10 points total in the second half. So 4 quarters, second half football. When it matters, the offense have put up 10. This team's not going to win another game the rest of the year.
It's I mean there's certainly that's a real possibility. Which I mean I don't think there was a small minority of the fan base that thought that maybe 2-10 would be a reality. I'm not willing to say I think that my prediction has changed drastically from what I said would be 7-5 team all the way down to 2-10. But they're not instilling any confidence in this fan base to number one go buy a ticket for the next week's game against Notre Dame, or to even turn their TV on, Matt, to even flex their finger muscles to surf through the channels and find the Razorback game. You're not giving the people anything to buy into. Wes in Van Buren, he listens to us all the time. He's bought into ESPN Arkansas. Wes, thanks for the call. How you feeling this afternoon?
Well, I'm not feeling too good, but y'all touched on what I want to talk about.
Well, expand for us, Wes.
What was wrong with Russell? I mean, I thought he might have got hurt or something. I mean, that's number one. That guy's a hoss.
Mm-hmm.
He needs 15 minimum carries a game. And our tight ends was on fire today. When we could get them the ball. Why in the world did we quit using them? But I do want to say, Bobby is not the same Bobby. Last week, why did we throw a little bubble screen out there? I mean, it should have been Russell up the middle 3 times. If we didn't score, kick the field goal. Same thing today. I mean, Sam Pittman didn't make a tackle. Bobby didn't make a touchdown. T-Will didn't make a tackle. I mean, yes, they made some bad calls, but we got to get better players, and we got to utilize the ones we've got. And it's just ridiculous. I'm 73 years old, and I am nothing but Razorback. But dadgummit, I'm done. I'm not calling for coaches to be fired or nothing like that. But I am tired until the state of Arkansas, I ain't got the money. I can't contribute. But by God, people can. Let's get this damn team back to what we were. And that's all I got.
Thank you for the call, Wes. Appreciate that. A lot of passion in that voice. It's a guy that's watched a lot of Razorback sports over the years. And Matt, I get where he's coming from. I mean, you walked in here and did the whole Spurrier thing for about 2 minutes straight. I mean, that's how everybody feels at this point. It's so hard for your fan base to take the fact that, look, we are set up to win we are set up to be competitive, set up to not be embarrassed in basketball and baseball. But every year in football, it seems like we're having these same conversations year over year. And that spans coaching. That spans entire coaching staffs since, Petrino's first go-around. But even that ended poorly because of off-the-field issues. And so there's a lack of discipline there as well. But we've been having this conversation for decades upon decades, longer than I've been alive, obviously much longer than I've been rocking the mic with you, Matt. We've been asking ourselves these questions of why? Why does this always have to happen to us? Why can't we get things right? Why can't we get this proper buy-in? And now you actually can buy your way in. We're seeing that. It's evident. Texas Tech is probably going to end up making it out of the Big 12 this year and being in the playoffs for that conference. So, to Wes's point, there is enough money in this state to hopefully buy a championship roster, but will that happen without some sort of change, whether it be in the coach's office or on the win or loss column?
Well, they did just bring out the basketball schedule last week, so yeah. I think that's very fitting. Mm-hmm. So it's on to basketball. I mean, if you're a Razorback fan of any kind, it's on. The football season's over. Yeah. They're not making a bowl game. I don't see 2 more wins on this schedule, man. Like I don't know. Like we'll have to get lucky. Yeah. To win more than 2 more games. It's a bummer. It really is when you're looking at and there's some talented guys. We got some talented guys on the team. No question about it. Mm-hmm. But it's on to I think they said the basketball team is going to play all the Elite Eight guys, and basketball team's supposed to be pretty good this year. So there we go.
we will we'll get with Ty Richardson here in just a second. And you mentioned the basketball season coming up. I mean, at least there's something to look forward to there. Maybe that's what everybody should do, is just pivot. It's only going to be a month or so away. But I mean, don't let this hurt you anymore. I'm done letting it hurt me. I got upset, obviously, watching the game. I woke up my son with a screaming tirade whenever Taylor threw another boneheaded pick. But
10 points in the last second half of games.
Yeah,
that's our offense. So it's not just on the defense. As much as we want to harp or and I get it, because the defense, what your eyes tell you is it is what it is, so to speak. 10 points in the last 4 quarters for this Arkansas offense in the second half. That's not good enough.
Matt, real quick before we go on to our next segment here and hopefully get in touch with Ty. You've been a player, and obviously that comes with highs and lows. Obviously, winning these long 4, 5, 6 hour long overtime games, on the road, you've been at the highest of highs, and then you've also been at the lowest of lows in your playing career as well. That's kind of the name of the game when it comes to being an athlete. Whenever you have found yourself as a player, as a part of a team that may have their back against the wall, what do you want to hear from your coach? I mean, can Sam Pittman say, is there any type of motivation that he can give you to stay locked in, to stay focused? Or I mean, I don't want to say that I think the team is letting go of their rope, because there's still a lot of season left. They could still get lucky. They could still surprise us. But, Matt, what do you want to hear from the head ball coach in a time like this?
Well, it's more on the players than the coach. And I say that with all due respect to all the coaches out there. My dad's a coach, but it's on the players. The players got to look themselves in the eye. They got to be accountability is not very good. The attention to detail, not very good. That means more film work. That means knowing your assignment. We're just leaving too many plays out there on both sides. And with Coach Nutt, one of the things we loved about him is if you could have suited him up. Chris Vaughn, another coach I had, Bobby Allen, man, those dudes wanted to get out there. But you know how many tackles they made? 0. Mm-hmm. It's on the players. You know how many passes they completed? 0. You know how it's not the coaches coach them up, but the players have to go out there and do it. And that this team is just kind of like, whatever.
Lee from Springdale brings up a great point here on our Lewis Automotive Hotline, and you can too at 877-377-6963. He said, "Can we please not let Ty go to any more away games?" I think we're missing the point about the Hogs. It's not their fault. It's Ty. So we'll hear from Ty Richardson here in just a minute on Hog Reaction. Arkansas drops a heartbreaker to a Greater 5 program in Memphis, 32-31. We'll hear from Ty Richardson in just a minute and wrap up here after a while. This is Hog Reaction. Stay through the break.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyer's, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green's going to throw all day. Deep corner route, got a man wide open, complete. Jones at the 25, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas, 62 yards. Rohan Jones all by himself, and Arkansas strikes first.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Tough week last week. He's right in the middle of the field. High snap. Bale brings it down. Starzik's kick is on the way. Plenty of distance, and it's good. The freshman knocks it through, and Arkansas increases their lead.
One positive today was Scott Starzik getting back on track after a poor showing in Oxford last week, and he nailed that 46-yarder there to make it 31-20 late in the third quarter. That's a good thing that you can see as well from today, is that you have a kicker that looks to be not too rattled after a poor performance the week before. And Matt, if you end up getting lucky and you do end up in some of these close games later on in the season, you might need a confident kicker. Quincy Rhodes also had a good game. I think he's been one of the most pleasant surprises on that defense. I mean, Quincy Rhodes, he really can get after the quarterback. He's a very good pass rusher.
Oh, he was fun to watch today. That's what I mean. There's a couple guys on the defense that can make some plays for us, and he was fun to watch today. No question about it. Sori's a beast. No question about it. Cam Ball can get it. There's a couple guys we got that can go. It's just a couple more guys on the outside. Man, you gotta to play defense. It's so tough to play defense. Like I'm not saying that like, hey man, defense is easy. And then, but it goes both ways. 10 points in the last 4 quarters of second half football is not good enough on the offense. So they got to take some accountability too. But to play defense, you almost got to be a crazy person, man. Mm-hmm. Like you got to be a little bit different. You got to be physical. You gotta play violent. We don't really play violent on defense.
We have our own version of different and crazy here on ESPN Arkansas. It's Ty Richardson. He was at the game today in Memphis. Ty is on with us now. Ty, that's a tough one to stomach, man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, guys. I'm sitting outside of the car repair shop, and in addition to Arkansas losing the way they did today, I've got a $500 car bill waiting on me here in about 10 or so minutes.
So that's not just like a flat tire or something. That's something interior that you don't have to know how to fix?
Yeah, it's something to do with a belt or something, and I just saw the bill, and I was already in a foul mood, and just got a little worse today, fellas. But y'all didn't. You got a lot of calls, man. I've been listening the whole time pretty much, and a lot of angry people calling.
Maybe Memphis stole the belt and took it to us.
Well, they stole one from Arkansas today, or maybe you gave it to them, depending on how you look at it. That's just more the same. I don't think Pittman, I mean, I listened to him. I was there when he was in the press conference. I don't think he said anything really worthwhile after the game. I got asked, it's like, hey, what did he say? What did he say? And it's just like, well, I mean, what is there to say at this point? You're in the same situation. You've been following a lot of games. Hunter Yurchek was talking about competitive. Guys, they're competitive in these games. They just don't know how to win them. And I think that's so aggravating and frustrating for Arkansas fans. It's cold, like we were talking about Monday. It's just Groundhog Day all over again.
Actually, I watched Groundhog Day this weekend. They showed it on Freeform. If you haven't seen it, it's a really good film. Bill Murray and Andy McDowell at their absolute best. But you said it, Ty. It's kind of the same thing that we've seen last season. And I listened to bits of the press conference here, and I kind of came to the same conclusion you did. He didn't say anything worthwhile, and he really can't. There is no more time for talking, whether it be from your AD or from your head football coach or anybody else. Things have to get done. And Ty, one of the things that did not get done today was your offense did not convert very well on third down. Was there anything that you could see from the eye in the sky up there in the press box that could have contributed to that?
Well, Taylor didn't run as much in the second half. He got asked after the game about his health. He said he was fine. It looked like he was nursing his left shoulder or arm at one point during the game. Then he looked like he was okay. Really the first time all season you haven't converted on third downs. When you look at Arkansas guys, last two halves, they've had 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So we could talk about all the offensive success against Ole Miss all we want, but they managed a touchdown in Oxford in the second half. They managed a field goal in the Liberty Bowl. So, listen, you're putting so much pressure. All this weight is on the offense to be perfect, as is Taylor Green, that sometimes it gets to them. They make mistakes. Taylor's not perfect. We saw today he reverted back to some of the things he did last year. Just two awful interceptions for him to make. One was it was very similar to the Arkansas State game where you just didn't see the sitting linebacker or D-back, whichever it was, sitting there. And then another one he tried to force and make a play. But that's like he feels. I didn't ask him this, but I bet he feels like he has to make a play pretty much every drive because if he doesn't, the defense isn't going to stop anybody. It's kind of like Sam Pittman. You got 4 game sample size. We're a third of the way through the season. And we know this defense can't stop anybody, and that's so frustrating considering that you feel like you have an offense that's so much further along than they were last year. Guys, I just don't think it's going to matter, unfortunately.
Does this team get to 6 wins?
Oh, I'm going to do your pause, Matt Jones.
Please, take your time. Take your time. We're not going
let's
anywhere.
Think about this. So they're not going to be favored next week. They're not going to be favored in Knoxville. They're not going to be favored against A&M. There's 3 straight games that they'll probably lose, and I hope I'm wrong. Maybe you squeak one out against Auburn, but they're battling toe-to-toe with Oklahoma right now. Mississippi State, better than I thought they'd be. I had them at 6-6. I'll just go back to what I said in the offseason, man. I had them at 6-6, but I didn't win this game. So, 5-7 that's kind of my trajectory based on what I said. So I'm going to say no, Matt. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, Ty, me and Matt were talking about it earlier. They released that basketball schedule out early this week, and I think it couldn't have come at a better time because now I think a lot of people are actually going to pivot their focus and all their attention to that basketball team once they get things kicked off here or in October. Ty, it seemed like today the Razorbacks defensively were able to get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback than they had in the previous weeks. Quincy Rhodes had a good game today. From what you saw, I know Cam Ball was also in that press conference. What did he have to say about the defense's performance today?
Well, I think defensively, like you guys were just talking about Quincy Rhodes. He's your best defensive player. Story, I think, might still be hurt. Pittman got asked about that. He didn't play. Yeah, and you got to give a kid credit for trying to gut it out. But it's, he had to play at the goal line. Another player too, where I was like, man, he makes that tackle every time. He just didn't. Defensively, whether Sam Pittman talking about it or anyone else, no one's satisfied right now. And I know people are fired up about Travis Williams and that, but I'm just hoping they can figure out something. But it's going to be really difficult based on the current composition that they have, particularly on the defensive line and the back end.
Well, Ty,
one of my buddies texted me and said, "Well, maybe they gave him some old school Penny Hardaway shoes as a consolation."
Yeah, geez, Louise. Yeah, Penny. I don't know if Penny was in attendance there today, Matt, but now, Memphis got Arkansas 4-2 in the all-time football series.
This isn't even the worst loss on Coach Pittman's record, though. It's bad, but it's
a
not.
Road game.
Yeah,
it's a road team against a group of 5. The worst loss was Mississippi State 2 years ago, 7-3 at home. That Mississippi State team was awful, and your offense was horrible. Enos gets fired.
What do we do with this Arkansas offense? 10 points in the last 4 quarters of second half football for Bobby P.
I mean, man, I think, Taylor's just got to be more precise in the second half, and offensively, I mean, you got to have these ill-advised. You got to stop with these ill-advised turnovers, whether it's Mike Washington, Jalen Brown. I mean, they have so little room for error based on their talent. And when you cough up the football like they did, 3 times today, you're not going to win on the road. Doesn't matter if you're playing Memphis or you're playing Alabama. It's just not going to happen. So ball security was stressed, and Pittman talked about it before they went back after the 2-minute timeout. They stressed it, and Mike, I don't think it's had fumble issues thus far this season. Got the ball popped out, and now we're sitting here as mad as I'll get out after this game.
Yeah, Matt, and you guys both mentioned how it's probably not actually the worst loss on the resume for Coach Pittman during his time here. But one thing, I mean, I remember Liberty, and there were a couple other ones. Mississippi State, like you mentioned.
Liberty at home was pretty bad.
I mean, happy homecoming.
Yeah.
But it was, Ty, one thing that I do think is that you were also up by 3 touchdowns at one point. So, I mean, there is something you did let him come back from 18 points down.
Yeah, it's the biggest FBS comeback thus far this season in college football. So, I mean, I've had to watch the highlight on loop, as y'all probably have in studio, 10 times. And being that it's in Memphis, I feel like it's played more regularly, even though that I don't know if it's an ABC affiliate or what. But this is just. But again, we've seen this before. We've seen it in a different way, but this is continuous. This happens more often than not, and I don't enjoy saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But now 7-19 in these one-sport games. Unfortunately, now it's a non-conference vote in a conference, and now you head into the conference play after this next weekend against Notre Dame, and who knows what the rest of the season will hold.
Ty, me and Matt were kicking this around earlier. It seems like we might need to put Braylon Russell's face on a milk carton, especially when it comes to close and late game situations. He only had 5 touches today, and it seemed like every time he touched the ball, it was either a first down, he was trucking 2 or 3 dudes. I mean, what do you think about that situation with number 0? I mean, this was a kid that was flip-flop, back and forth in the transfer portal at the end of the season. I mean, me and Matt, we basically said that I don't think we'll see him in a Razorback jersey next year. I mean, it looks like he's being a little bit misused.
Well, that's something that at least you can kick around based on his prior in and out. But he had that long, it was 18-yard touchdown run where he banged over a couple defenders. They had another play during that game. So I'm never going to get mad at Pittman or Colby Smith for running Mike Washington or Bobby Trio for keeping him there, because I think that kid's dynamic. But the way Braylon, you go with the hot hand. Mm-hmm. It's not like Mike was, by any stretch of the imagination, didn't have a hot hand. He made some good plays today, but I'm kind of like you. I was wondering about, hey, why is Braylon not getting the football lately? So I get where you guys are coming from there.
6 losses when scoring 30-plus points since 2023, which is tied for the most in the FBS at this time. That's a tweet that I saw from Brandon Marcello after the game concluded. Ty, we're sitting here again. It's the same scenario. I mean, what is there anything that can be changed about this? The whole fan base, the litany of calls and texts that we've taken, there's been one common recurring theme, and it's that the house has to be cleaned. A change has to be made structurally from the top all the way down. I mean, can you speak on that? I mean, what do you think has to happen for things to get better, for these one-score games to turn in your favor?
Well, I looked at my phone when I was sitting in that press conference on 163 text messages via group or whatever, and a lot of those same statements: clean house, let go Sam, let go Hunter, fire the whole staff. And I mean, I think in that situation, a lot of people were calling for that. I do find it interesting, this upcoming Board of Trustees meeting, which the football program and where it is right now is going to be discussed. And there are a lot of things. Hunter didn't help his cause earlier this week, and we mentioned that, and obviously the loss just piled on. The most negative voice is always the loudest. And following a loss like that, you're going to get a consensus of negative callers, textures. I don't blame people for thinking that way. I'm ticked off too. But for people that matter, for people that actually have money, have sway, have power to make something like that happen, have no idea what they think. None. And I don't know if a loss like this would change their mind one way or another. I think it's safe to say that there's odds against Arkansas from winning next week, even though that game's at home against Notre Dame, so you could be 2-3 heading back into conference play. There's a lot of variables and things working against Sam Pittman and Hunter Yurchek right now, and leadership it's not shown when there's success and positive. It's shown in the midst of negative. So if there's ever time to be a leader of a football program, athletics department, it's now. And this is why they're getting paid the big bucks. And if they're not up for the rest of the season, I don't blame people for having that opinion. So I'm really curious. My whole thought process, people are like, get fired. In my opinion, I don't know, because I don't expect a change to be made with the football team or the athletic department within the next couple of days. Some people want this to happen tonight. I don't expect that to happen, but I am curious to how the season progresses and the thought process on where the football team is heading, because right now it's really difficult to say that you're on an upward trajectory based on everything that's happened.
And it's hard to say that you've even plateaued too from your 2-2 start. It seems like you've gone absolutely. It seems like things have certainly gone downhill and downhill.
I mean, how
fast.
can you argue against? There's no argument against that.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point I made this week. It's like after that Ole Miss loss, it's more the same. This is the same thing. It's like you have to show signs of something heading in the right direction. And unfortunately, ever since 2022, you're not seeing that. You're not. It's like, and I don't take pride or pleasure saying that, but guys, we got to address what's happening right now with our football program. People and some people don't want to get personal or anything when you're talking about people's jobs and whatnot. Our football program is personal. This state takes it personally how the Razorbacks conduct themselves on the football field each and every Saturday. So it's part of it, man. It's part of it.
That's true. And Ty, you can't take it personal when people start pointing the finger at you, because your record behind enemy lines and in away games continues to just deteriorate. But I'm happy that you actually got back. Are you back on the road? Are you driving? Is everything okay from that regard?
I'm going. The car is going to get fixed, and I will be able to drive home to Arkansas. Luckily.
All right. Well, good deal. We'll see you when you get back, buddy. Appreciate your time as always. That's Ty Richardson right there. Thank you, Ty.
Y'all have fun.
Appreciate you, buddy. All right, we're going to wrap it up here in just a second on Hog Reaction. We'll come back with the palate cleanser, tell you what's going on around the rest of college football. It's not as bad as it all is here in Fayetteville. There are some schools that are suffering through a lot of the same things, and there's still some good football left to be played, especially in the conference in which you are named to. This is Hog Reaction here. We're brought to you by Sawyer's Everything for Outside the House, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. Visit them online at sawyers-sunrooms.com. And the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Don't forget, you can sign up for the Ultimate Game Day giveaway, not only during every home game, but anytime during the week at the Stadium Shop. One lucky fan will win $1,000 in gift cards, including $200 to the Stadium Shop. We're also brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. Right back here in just a minute with Colton Little and Matt Jones on Hog Reaction. We'll tell you what's going on around the rest of college football, and we'll wrap it up here as the Razorbacks drop a tough one, 32-31, to a very good Memphis Tigers team. Back in just a second.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyer's, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based brands.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barling.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started. Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us in Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range. Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks.
This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyers, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green's going to throw all day. Deep corner route, got a man wide open, complete. Jones at the 25, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas, 62 yards. Rohan Jones all by himself, and Arkansas strikes first.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
Backup quarterback. He'll throw. To the front, Tyler. Trying to squeeze it back shoulder to Ross Simmons. He's got it for the touchdown.
Justin Ross Simmons on the touchdown catch right there. He's a Syracuse Orange man, and they put the whipping on Clemson today, taking you around all of the college football today. 34-21, the final score in Clemson. Syracuse wins today. Clemson moves to 1-3, a very unfamiliar place for the Clemson Tigers, and I'm expecting another Dabo Swinney crash out rant this week, Matt. It should be a fun one. Maryland beats Wisconsin 27-10 today. Obviously, we know Arkansas dropped a close one, 32-31 to Memphis. Texas Tech takes care of business all the way out in Utah, 34-10. Tennessee beat the absolute brakes off of UAB. I saw a play in the UAB-Tennessee game where a UAB Blazer player stomped on the kicker's foot. So hopefully there's some disciplinary action being taken there. In the Civil War up in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon handles business against Oregon State. The Beavers now 0-4 in the very lonely Pac-12. In Texas, the battle for the Iron Skillet. TCU gets the best of SMU in that one. The Mustangs didn't pony up today. They moved to 2-2 as TCU stays at 3-0. That's what's happening around major college football right now. Some other things that are happening at this very, very second as we are here on Hog Reaction. Let me see if I can find a good game, first of all. UCF up on North Carolina 27-9. One that Arkansas Razorback fans will be interested in right now. There's a delay in this game, but Notre Dame is only up by 2 scores on Purdue. It's 28-13 right there. Michigan and Nebraska. This is a game coming down to the wire. Nebraska has the ball down 20-30 with 3:18 to go in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss taking care of business. They're waxing Tulane right now in the Green Wave, 45-3. And then I think probably the biggest game of the day is coming down to the wire. Auburn has the ball right now, trailing Oklahoma 10-16 with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Matt, that Auburn and Oklahoma game, both of these teams have surprised me to start this season. Oklahoma definitely didn't have as much help as they did last year on offense. John Mateer, the transfer from Washington State, is really, really good. And Auburn has also improved as well. So that's going to be a game that I'm going to definitely keep an eye on here as we wrap up on Hog Reaction. But we talked about this earlier. I kind of think earlier on in the season, we thought that Auburn might be the same dysfunctional Auburn team that we saw on the Plains last year with 3 different play callers on 3 different downs. But it seems like they're also improved. And so that's another one of those games on your schedule that looked gettable at the beginning of the season, but now is looking to be a little bit more of a head scratcher. That's what's going on around college football right now. I'm going to get to some text right here that we've gotten, and we've gotten plenty of calls and texts. We appreciate that today, this afternoon here on Hog Reaction. Lots of stuff going on. Ben sent a text in here. Ben from Fort Smith. He's got a long one here. I'm going to read some of this. A little bit torn right now between what's the right decision to make about Coach Pittman's future at Arkansas. There's a lot of stuff that can be said here, and it's going to be said over the next week or so before the next game is played. And it's just not going to be very, very easy to stomach the fact that there could be some real changes and some real chaos unfold up there in Fayetteville if things don't get a lot brighter very soon. JT in Hot Springs sent a text in that I take a lot of umbrage with, and that's that he said it's those ugly all-white jerseys and helmets. I disagree. I think the all-white helmets look very, very good, and I would give anything to have seen Matt Jones running down the sideline in an all-white uniform. That would look absolutely clean. Goonie texted in, he thought 5-7 this year, but Memphis had to be one of them. You definitely don't get that Memphis win. And so now, I mean, it's back to the drawing board now, Matt. There's not a lot more that you can say. It all has to be action. It all has to be done. There is still a way to salvage the season. It's almost impossible, it seems like, with what you put on display the past 2 weeks. But I mean, Matt, we talked about Quincy Rhodes. We talked about Scott Starzig. We talked about some of the good things that we saw from your receiving core today. Your tight ends, every single one of your tight ends, I think, is a very good pickup. That room has gotten significantly better than it was last season. You upgraded all across the board. Rohan Jones is a good route runner. He's very good in space, as is Jaden Platt. Andreas Pushka, whenever he's able to actually, kind of run some of those plays. But all 3 of those guys also block very, very well in the run game. So there are some positives. I know nobody wants to hear that, but Matt, I mean, there are some things that Razorback fans can still look forward to when they wake up on Saturdays at 11 a.m. most of the season to watch the Hogs.
You got a really good field goal kicker, that's for sure. You got a really good quarterback. You got a couple guys on defense that can make some plays. I don't know. I don't know that there's really anything you can look at this team and say too much about. I mean, Alabama, A&M, and Arkansas State, those aren't teams that are beating anybody. So, okay, we won those games. Then we played 2 teams, Ole Miss and Memphis. What have we done? I mean, I don't see 2 more wins on this season. You tell me I'm wrong. If we get to, I'm sure we'll do a couple more of these shows. I love working with you, Colton.
Appreciate it, buddy.
And I'm sure we'll do a couple more post-game shows. There's not 2 more wins on the schedule. Somebody help me, because I don't see it, man. I just don't see it.
I mean, and Matt, I would love to sit here and have some kind of concrete evidence, something that was something that can convict me to say that I think that you're wrong.
Because Tennessee's better than the whole drama you brought up Auburn, but Tennessee, I think Aguilar's an upgrade.
Oh, absolutely. From what's happening over in Los Angeles right now with UCLA, I think that they absolutely got sold a bag of goods from Iamaleava and that whole family and everything. And it came at the demise of Deshaun Foster now. So Jordan Jones here on our YouTube stream, he said, I'm sick of our football program emulating all of Jerry Jones's mistakes. The leadership needs a pulse on today's climate in this sport, and it needs to stop caring so much about trivial stuff. Now, I think I don't want to speak for Jordan, but some of that trivial stuff he might be talking about is how the fact that they're not set up monetarily to, compete in football at this point. And that's a direct quote from, your athletic director last week. No one's going to give you any money when you put that on the field. I mean, there's no questions about that. Something has to be done about the fact that if you want money, if you're going to ask fans to pay $140 for a Razorback-sized speaker that's 10 inches tall from your Edge Foundation that still doesn't have a full system running it, people aren't going to be okay with that, and you're going to get some pushback. You're going to have people start to pick it out in front of Razorback Stadium. You're going to have people flying planes over the stadium telling about getting rid of our coach. And I mean, it's things are going to get nasty if the on-field product doesn't improve and improve fast.
Maybe there's something, it's like whenever somebody shuts a door, they open a window so you can jump out of it. But maybe Dabo's on his way. Dabo would look good in Fayetteville, right?
He looks good in red. I know that.
Clemson just took another L. That they think it's all and sometimes. Okay, so think about Gundy's probably out at Oklahoma State. Napier's out at Florida. I mean, you start looking around. Who do you think we go after? Do you go after the Memphis coach?
He's a good candidate.
I mean, they just come in here and whoop you? And then how many of those Memphis kids could he bring to Arkansas with him? Could you think there's? I saw 6 or 7 kids on that Memphis team that are SEC caliber players.
And if not SEC caliber starters, Matt, they could certainly give you the depth that you've been sorely lacking on the back end of your defense and up front as well. And Matt, did you watch the game broadcast? Like on ABC?
I did.
So one thing that I try my best to do most of the time is take these commentators with a grain of salt. But Jesse Palmer needs to stick to the Bachelor because he was talking about how deep and strong this Arkansas defensive line is, and I mean that's just not true. And that was kind of tough to listen to. And Tess and Jeff need to get their stuff together up there. That was hard to stomach as our team was piddling away another one.
Yeah, I said I probably would side with you a little bit. I think it's a tough job though. They come in and they don't really know. They're just kind of going on what they're told.
And
but
they're getting stuck with all the
do your
Recipe-Palooza
homework.
promos.
Yeah,
now.
do your homework.
Yeah, they're getting stuck with all the Recipe-Palooza promos right now too, because that's going on tonight. So I'm sure lots of people will be tuned into that. C-Man here from the Mary Band of Idiots says, "Get over it. We lost a 1-point game on the road. It happens. Good luck getting a new coach." Yeah,
Dabo.
I mean, there's going to be lots of really, really good coaches that are going to come up in this coaching cycle. And I think last year, as teams were they felt maybe a little bit handcuffed trying to come up with the extra $20 million or so for rev share, that they couldn't just say, hey, we can afford now this $20, $30, $40 million buyout for this coach that we have. Now I think with things in line for most programs across the country when it comes to their football bank account, there's going to be some hirings and firings that I think are going to shock people. And look, there is no way around this anymore. I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. That is a potential to happen in Fayetteville. I don't want it to be in the middle of the season so all of your players jump ship immediately. But at the end of the year, something has to happen, whether it be a regime change, whether it be a resignation. I mean, we had a caller earlier talking about how much he appreciates Sam Pittman for bringing us out of the dumpster fire, for putting the dumpster fire out, but still, you find yourself trying to claw and climb out of the dumpster. It's very, very difficult for Razorback fans to stomach because they're such a rabid fan base. Like, I know that we've talked about on this program, we heard calls from Cecil. We've got some text messages as well about how one of the biggest games in your program's history since Sam Pittman's been your head coach is one of the marquee of all marquee teams coming to town, the defending runner-up last year in the college football playoff. And I do think that the stadium will be full. I think it'll be loud. I think they'll make a big difference in the game. But if it's not full, if people are silently protesting, I understand why they would. I mean, this is coming back to I heard a quote this past weekend about the stuff going on in Miami with the Dolphins and how Stephen Ross says we're not trying to make a change right now, but if fans stop showing up, I mean, we'll have to reevaluate. And I'm not urging anybody to not show up to the game and to sell your tickets to any Fighting Irish fans, but call these programs, send these text messages, fire those tweets off. I mean, because whether you think so or not, people are listening to this. People do read those text messages. People do see those tweets on every single time that the Razorbacks post a final score, and it's another heartbreaking loss. So let your voice be heard, because believe it or not, you as the fans do have the power to make a change, whether that be with your pocketbook or with whatever you want to say online. So there has to be something that changes, Matt, because you said it. I mean, we're going to be here. Luckily, it's an 11 a.m. game, and the way the season's going right now, if we're doing this anymore, it'll be in the afternoon and not at 2 o'clock at night, which is a big positive for the both of us. But I also don't like that, because it means you're not playing in any primetime games of consequence. And I know that you hurt for this football team. I know that you know some of those coaches. You know some of the players that are involved in the program up there, and you have close ties with that football program, so I know that it hurts you. But, Matt, just to summarize right here, can the Razorbacks get back on track, or do you think we might as well just wait for pumpkin thumping?
There's a bridge right down the road from here. I think I'm going to go jump off of it. This team, they're not. It's going to be a long year. There's nothing really. I don't want to say anything bad about these guys, but there's not 4 more wins on this schedule. I think I'll just go jump off this bridge.
Well, Matt, if you're there, I might be joining you very soon, very soon and quickly as well. It's been a day. It's been a long day. It's been a long show. We appreciate all your calls and texts here on Hog Reaction. This has been Hog Reaction with Colton Little and Matt Jones. We've been brought to you today by Sawyer's, Sunrooms, Patio Covers, Pergolas, and Driveways. We've been brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by Bud Light, the proud sponsor of Razorbacks Athletics. The Arkansas Razorbacks drop another one today to Memphis, 32-31. Something's got to give, folks. Something has got to change, and hopefully it will be sooner rather than later. That's going to be it for us today here on Hog Reaction. Tune in throughout the rest of the week to hear everybody. Chuck and Bo, Phil and Matt on halftime, me, Tommy, and Ty on the morning rush. This has been Hog Reaction as the Razorbacks drop another one in heartbreaking fashion. I'll be back here the rest of the week. Stay tuned. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. This has been Hog Reaction.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyer's, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing.